Get the alpha, be the alpha.
Welcome back to PGL Open Bucharest. It is the second minor of the season and more than 20 tournaments ahead of us, all leading to one thing, the International in 2018. The road starts right now. The road already began a week ago at Starladder. We're going to continue it today. Our first match is already in the history books. We're going to move on to game number 2 very shortly. Secret versus Immortals, and we welcome to the panel a member of our team who has been the commentator in the first game. It is, of course, Winter. Good to have you with us, as always.
Hello.
Nice to have you.
Sup, bro?
How you doing?
Sup, bro?
I'm here to bring out the real Windsor.
I like the introduction. He calls me Winter Wyvern.
He called you that twice.
Yeah.
No,
good lead-ins.
I've mixed it up a bit. I did say the first one was like Winter is coming.
Oh yeah. That
Because he was
classic
coming,
old,
the old meme, and then I used the Winter Wyvern in the second one. I just, you got to show Winter some love. I know how mean you are to him in the background. No one knows this about what happens when Nalini actually gets rude. This guy.
What? Me? This guy. We're actually the worst duo. We're both bad cops.
You bring out the worst.
You are.
I bring out the best in you.
It's
I bring out the real Winter.
It's when we're playing Werewolf or Mafia, and both of you are like bad cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
That's when it happens.
It's a
I'm
good
the
analogy.
Tanner. That's what he keeps saying. It's like, no, you're not. And then he is, and that's why it's really annoying. Anyway, let's get back to some Dota, because it's Secret versus Immortals. Just wrap up on the last one for me. You're quite harsh at the end of the last game, I thought. You were very brutal about the fact that there was lots of mistakes in that game.
Yeah, I was kind of pretty. But it was an honest opinion, though. I do think that two of those teams were by far probably going to be the weakest teams here, and because of the way they played. I mean, the drafts were disregarding the draft, just looking at the play. They were making a lot of errors, and itemizations weren't great throughout the game. So I think they're gonna be hard pressed to even try to win a series here in the event.
Not a surprise though with the standing, though. It's tricky coming here with a player who hasn't played for about 4 years.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a good excuse, Yeah, they have the standing.
All right, let's get into our second series of the day. See if there's any excuses for Winter to cover over in this one. First up, let's meet a team who've been in some good form lately. Team Secret. There's the lineup for Team Secret. I think if you've been following Dota over the last couple of months, you've seen the changes that they have made to this team. And so far, so good, I think, Ben, is the story for this team. They've gone through qualifiers. They've looked pretty good in most of the qualifiers. They haven't qualified for everything, but they've got here, obviously. They were at Starladder last week, looked pretty good. Tripped up a couple of times, of course, in that tournament and didn't make the final. But overall, since they've had Fado on this team, they're 16-4. The only teams that have beaten them, Liquid being one of them, there's no shame in that, and the other one was Na'Vi, which was a 2-1 defeat. So it looks pretty good on paper so far.
Definitely, and going back to the roster change that you mentioned, it was really no big surprise that MP and Kezu were gonna be off the team.
Yeah,
like I didn't know any internal workings, but just like seeing from the play
the
style
outside,
that they had, it's just
much
no
better
surprise.
Composition this time for their team.
It does feel more balanced, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we were discussing a bit about the way they have a similarity compared to Liquid before this. They play very similar heroes, and maybe trying to
bit of a style there as well.
Trying to use the system that was successful. I mean, why not? They won TI with that system, so.
Yeah, I mean, Puppy's never had any shame of stealing other people's ideas that have been good and then making them even better, has he?
Well, he has his own idea. Why?
Absolutely.
He likes Bane every game. What's up with Bane?
Bane's strong in the lane, and it's very good It's very good on position find because he has a save and he has a BKB piercing disable, which is my favorite part about the hero. Not many position 5 heroes have that.
Yep. We're going to get into hero stuff in just a moment. Their opponents are a team who confuse the hell out of me in many ways because in Counter-Strike they're Brazilian and in other ways they're South American. This team, however, are from South Korea. So the Koreans reunited in many ways as a 5 under the Immortals brand, of course. QO, MP, Forev, Febi and Dubu. Ben, it feels to me like there's been a bit of an experiment over the last 12 months or so for some of these players, and they've kind of gone, yep, that didn't work. Let's just go back to what we know.
I love watching some of these guys play too. I'm
They're
really
great, aren't they?
glad they're back together. I think they bring out the best in each other, just like Winter and myself, except these guys are much better players than us. QO, he's always fun to watch. That guy is... He is just next level in terms of how aggressive he plays, generally, and which led to a lot of success of their prior team, MVP.
I mean, he needs the right team around him, though. Like, with the wrong team around him, he can be, like...
Excessively feeding.
Yeah. Is he a 4 protect 1?
Yeah, I think so. You kind of want to give everything to that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're going to go through the...
That's a lot of deaths. That's the mid.
The lineup. We'll move to the draft very shortly as well and discuss where we might go in terms of picks for this one as well. But I do want to talk about Immortals because they have looked all right in all these qualifiers. They've looked like a well-rounded team, but they haven't qualified necessarily in the region that you would expect them to.
NA's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
Tougher than we thought, anyway.
Yeah, we have Complexity, who already have qualifying points. We have PBD's old team, TI champion right there.
You have the Dire.
You have Dire. You have Digital Chaos. Like,
EG.
It's
EG?
yeah, it's competitive right now.
Well, EG's usually not in the qualifiers, but
no.
But they are very good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what, 5
but
pretty
they're
good
gonna
teams.
they're gonna have to go through the qualifiers at some of these events, you'd imagine, if they want to play in them, because there are only going to be 2 invites when it's an 8-team tournament. Then not always going to get one of those invite slots, are they?
Yeah, I
I
guess
think-
that's true. Not every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
every
like Liquid. I mean, Liquid got one last week at Starland. Don't get one this week.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to play here, though, they could have played in the qualifiers if they wanted to.
You're gonna have to play good Dota, to get here at some
Those
point.
qualifiers are murder, Winter.
Yeah.
They were murder out there. There was some real blood on the streets of Dota when we were watching those qualifiers.
When you're, I think if you're Immortals, you're like, did we actually make the right decision to actually move to NA? Probably should have stayed in C, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, that's a competitive region now as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe go to Europe.
I mean,
Every
I don't
region
know.
is probably very difficult right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
how,
that
how
is
do-
actually really hard.
when you think about it, there are actually, I mean, that's right. There aren't any easier areas at all. CIS we thought might have been the weaker area, but turns out actually that's very competitive as well. Let's take a look at the featured matchup between these two teams. We've picked out a couple of players here who I think might have a big impact on this game, Ben.
Ace plays weird heroes. He played weird heroes when he was back on Cloud9. He likes Brood, Lone Druid. He played Necro before it was even a thing.
Always have a Brood player on your team.
Yep.
Is that one of the rules now?
That's
Yes.
it should be.
Yeah.
That's good.
And they have that one.
And always have a Jakiro player.
I agree, Winter. I'm glad we're on the same page when it comes to this. Ben is just going to hate us when we talk about Jakiro because this comes out in the draft now, which it could come out in the draft. I mean, we've got a couple of Jakiro players in this lineup as well, Forev being one of them. The funny thing is, though, when you look at Ace, a lot of people go to me, oh, who's this new kid? Who's this new guy? He's been around forever, isn't he? I mean, 2011, 2012, and had a bit of a break. He's had like 10 or 15 teams over the last 5-6 years. And suddenly, why has he suddenly become hot property and as good as he is?
I think he was always pretty good.
You think he was underrated?
He just wasn't on great teams
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, and before this, Seiko were like putting MP on a lot of when they had MP on, they were playing a carry which sort of like creates space like a utility carry, and Ace has a much wider pool of heroes for that. The way he plays.
Yep.
How much is that going to impact him coming back to play Secret here?
He's probably happy.
On the other hand, Secret's gonna know what he can play and what
That's
he
the
can't
problem,
play.
isn't it? They know how to play against.
But
him?
QO's
they
more
play
the
around
focus.
Kyo. Yeah, they play around Kyo.
So MP's not as big of a factor.
MP is like, you can have a bad laning phase. It's okay. Let them focus you. As long as Kyo is farming on the alchemies, etc. hero, then they'll be fine.
All right, well, we're well into the draft. As you can see, all 4 bans are done. And first 2 picks also up and running. Puck for Immortals. And a Rubik on the side of Secret. Nothing crazy so far.
Okay, so they won their Rubik so early.
I've been liking Rubik a lot. I saw him picked
it's
at
a
the
decent
other
early pick,
tournament.
Yep, BZ kill stealing, you know, Yapzor on his Rubik. Fate Pole, take the last hit. That's what he's been doing a lot in his games, but he's by far one of the best Rubik players right now in the open era. Always has a lot of impact, despite not having a lot of good spells to steal. There was this one game in Star that, oh, they picked Rubik, but there's not many good spells to steal, but he still made it work.
Hey. We spoke off air about this beforehand, didn't we? Fatter's Doom.
You like his Doom.
I do like Fatter's Doom. Health orientated,
He takes the
fun way of playing. Annoying to play against, but still fun to watch.
It's the way like he fits into this team though. He's like very team-based. He plays around the team a lot, less greedy because they have so many players that take a lot of farm. Like Yapzor takes a lot of farm, Mid One takes a lot of farm, and you know if you still want to take farm, then everyone is gonna like not have that balance. You know, you need to have a right amount of players that take farm and the amount of players that are making space, being utility.
Oh, you know, I have a funny story about Fada. I was just hanging out with Chuan a lot last week, and we were all at the same event. And for some reason, we were talking about Super, the mid player, not the support, the one who likes DK Razor. And then we compared him to Fada a lot. And then he's like, oh yeah, Super loves Fada. Every time he's having a bad day, he just watches a Fada replay. I thought it was hilarious. Like, yeah, I guess so. Brilliant. Super just loves
Night Stalker in for
So surprised that he actually went through so far. In most of the teams we've seen in Star Ladder would actually prioritize picking this hero, either picked or banned very early.
Doom does not care about Night Stalker though. That's one of the nice things. You can kind of just run in. I like having those tanky heroes versus Night Stalker. You don't want to be playing like Puck Ember versus Night Stalker. You want like big fat heroes that's like, yeah, if you jump me.
I mean, still that's later in the game, because Night Stalker's like a vision hero. Doom is a initiating jumping hero. And if you're playing against like a vision limiting hero like Night Stalker, you're still gonna have some problems later in the game. You might be great against NS in the first 4 minutes pre-night in the lane, but later on NS can be really good against Doom.
I think it works both ways. I think it's Doom, like some of the time they just play him like as a super tank, or you can just run it. That's more of the Chinese play style.
Yeah, I guess that depends.
It just
on the
depends.
So they ban out Bloodseeker, they ban out AA. AA would always, to me, when I see these banning signals, that they might want to go for Necroforce. That's why they banned the AA.
It's also good versus Doom too.
Scorch Earth, healing, and Immortals take out the lane dominating supports. Lich and Bane, we talked a little bit of Bane before this. Puppy likes the Bane a lot, helps with the laning phase immensely. Very strong at level 1. And the Puck is kind of like still like a flexi pick, right, for Immortals. They do run him in... Do they... All 3 lanes, right? Maybe not so much on Kyo, but I remember MP and 4F, they do play this hero.
Yeah, I would say 4F far more likely to pick it up this game, however.
4F does have it in his hero pool over the last 2 months, in this particular patch anyway.
It's really important that you open a draft and you want to have this kind of like flexi picks, you know, multiple players having the ability to take the hero, so it's easier for the captain to draft around it. And they go for the Spirit Breaker, which is generally one of the heroes that teams like to go pick up against the Night Stalker. You just follow him around because Night Stalker likes to pressure, run around, roam during the night phase, and SB is the kind of hero that can actually match that aggression, and you get the vision when you charge him.
That'll be a puppy hero, presumably.
Yep, so it's gonna be the one, I'm gonna get all the farm, Puppy's gonna be on the SB, buying all the wards, and making sure that they have a good early game. Maybe he's gonna help the Doom out a little, but I imagine this game there'll be a lot of focus on the mid lane, because during Star Ladder, Secret has been putting a lot of focus in their mid lane, helping mid one get a good game.
And you feel like they'll probably wait until the last pick for that?
Yeah, very
he
likely.
He has a deep enough pool that they don't have to worry about the extra ban either.
So they go for the Winter Wyvern, which is a hero that has been rising in popularity lately as an off lane or a support. He's a hero that's pretty good with the night vision. He has like night vision, so it's pretty good with NS, good synergy. And still a flexi pick if they want to do like I've seen 4F play this hero in his pubs, so it might actually be a safe lane or mid puck and a off lane Winter Wyvern. It's a hero that farms a lot though, I would say. It takes a lot of space, and right now they have puck and Wyvern, so they have two heroes that actually push out waves, very good wave clear. So it indicates maybe they're going for a more split push, pick off with the vision NS kind of game. And Secret go for the DK, which is going to mean that they want to group up and push and play around the dragon form a lot.
It's a lot of strength heroes, man.
Timber, you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is there anything else aside from Timber that's really good against strength heroes?
Veno, but Veno's banned. I like Veno against all these tanky cores. Slow them down, kite them. But right now, Secret has a very solid draft around like 5 manning. It's a very distinct playstyle that they have. They want to snowball off the laning phase. They have good like lanes. They're hoping to get good lanes with the SB support and Doom off lane, and try to group up with the Dragon Farm and take towers after that. And whereas for Immortals, they are much more looking like a split push kind of game. Try to get pickoffs, and because these three heroes right now, they are more leaning towards that direction, but they still have decent team fight with the Puck and the Wyvern, but not much damage yet. So I assume if they want to go for like a team fight lineup, their next 2 picks would actually tell us that. So what is this gonna be? Is this gonna be
Probably
off lane Pugna?
Offlane Pugna, 5 Wyvern, mid
Support-
Puck.
Forev Pugna.
Yeah, that
Yep.
seems most likely. We can also see MP playing Pugna,
Yeah,
right?
MP's played Pugna a lot recently.
It's still quite unclear how Immortals is gonna run this, but I'm right now still leaning a bit more towards Secret's lineup. I feel they have a much more clear and solid lineup. So let's see what the last picks are gonna be. Can they actually sway my opinion on it?
You'd imagine that puck is actually an MP puck, wouldn't you? And
Yeah,
therefore
it's
the
de-
Pugna
it's definitely
then has
possible.
to be a Forev
Yeah,
Pugna, doesn't it?
and you might want to like pick some alchemist or something to bind the whole lineup
Yeah.
together. Some strong hero.
Yeah, QO's played a lot of Elk.
So right now, Secret are trying to figure out what is that diamond. What is that?
Haha. So they're going
So-
to take away the monkey, which actually is QO's most played hero over the last patch.
Yeah.
So some good data.
It fits him a lot. Snowballish hero, melee core, very strong in the lane. If you put him at the right matchup, like a DK, a melee against melee matchup, it's really good for Monkey King.
But haven't they put them in a really good position now? I think that's quite a smart draft in a way, because they've said, well, you can ban the monkey, but then we've got plenty of other options in the team.
But like not all the options would fit a Kyo though. Kyo is a very special and unique player. He needs to play that kind of like snowballish that farms a lot. You would want to put him on those kind of heroes. You do not want to put him on a Dragon Knight.
Right.
Nope.
Or even a Puck. You do not want to put him on those kind of heroes. That's for me. I want him to be on a hero that requires the most farm on my team. So they ban out the Brood. Still worrying about the cheese.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they won't have last pick for this, so they have to pick a hero that might get countered as well. So there's a lot of things that you want to consider right now. You need to think ahead of what the enemy might pick, and you have to pick a hero according to that possibility. I'm kind of still feeling the Elk here for them. I'm not sure what else is the best for them. They have pretty good Aghanims heroes. Night Stalker, Pugna, the Puck, so Alchemist would fit in their lineup well.
Doesn't care about Doom,
and
Ace Band.
They need a front line, and Elk would provide them that front line.
I still think they would have damage issues though.
Oh, they picked CK, so what is Kyo gonna play?
I think Puck.
He's gonna play the Puck.
Yeah.
So CK is definitely gonna be their front line now here, and but Dragon Knight is pretty good against CK later into the game. You have that splash damage, so I would say Secret still has pretty okay heroes that are dealing with CK's ultimate, and they have one more last pick here, which they could still pick something like Sven.
Sven is
Sven
really
is pretty good against CK.
So you don't think QO is going to go with the CK?
No, I'm not sure though.
See Medusa too.
Yeah.
See Medusa sometimes versus Wyvern and Chaos Knight. Doesn't care about getting cursed. You can still like split shot your enemies, so they can't really do that much in curse, and you can get Ags and kill all CK solutions instantly.
Yeah, that pick is also really good. But does Ace play Medusa? Haven't seen him play.
Any carry can
Any carry?
play Medusa.
Okay. Yeah, but
Hasn't played it in this patch.
they probably don't like. He probably doesn't like to play. Oh, Arc Warden.
Saw it in the second game of the first series of the day as well.
Not so
sold
sure.
on it. I think it's...
But it's okay with a Dragon Knight lineup because you have they have 3 front lines. The Doom, the SB, and the DK can be the front line.
Yeah.
You need heroes that can protect the Arc Warden.
And create space for him. Spirit Breaker is perfect hero for that.
Let's do quick predictions. Winter, what have you seen from the draft that allows you to go one way or the Secret?
I like their draft more solid. Team fight, good team fight. And
Even with the Arc Warden pick at the end.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure what QO gonna play though.
Right.
If he's gonna play the puck, I'm not so sure about that.
I think QO is going to go on the CK personally, from history. But
I think he's gonna play puck.
All right, we'll
I believe
see.
in QO too.
We'll have that bet alongside.
Is that
Who are you going
nice,
for?
aggressive hero? I'll go with Immortals for this. I know they're the underdog, but I like to draft just a tiny bit more.
Okay, good. All right, well, there we go then. Predictions are done. They've been split one way or the other. We're going to find out over the next couple of hours which team takes home the victory and heads on into the winners bracket, which we'll see at the end of the day as well here in Group A. Time now to head back to the commentary team. We've fogged off one player into the commentary box. He's been joined by a British Australian. Of course, it's Toby One alongside.
You know, Red Eye thinks he's funny. You're getting fogged off, and he's having a crack at my dual citizenship.
He's trying so hard just to get at me.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Trying hard the English way, which is not funny at all. I'm Toby. This is Fogged.
Hello.
And we're going to have ourselves a good bit of fun. Team Secret going up against a team which I refuse to underestimate.
I know.
Always.
We watched your video or your interview, right?
Wait, really?
Was it an interview?
But yeah, I did one on a website which nobody knows about. But that's not the point.
I saw it.
Wow. Thanks, Fox,
Anytime,
for reading things that I thought. That's great.
Dude, I got you. I mean, we're lucky this game, though, for sure, like you're saying.
Yeah.
We've got Yapsor and Rubik, and everybody's happy. And, I mean, I got a Pugna in my game I'm casting. I'm a happy man.
I'm always happy watching, like, if Yapsor plays Rubik, if Kuro plays Rubik, if anyone plays Rubik, I'm kind of happy. The only other time I'm happier is if somebody picks Enigma. Please, new patch, make him viable. For now, we get crapped on with Arc Warden as the new thing.
Hey, come on. He's fun. He's interesting to watch. I think every team needs to have this kind of player that plays... We mentioned on the panel, someone that plays these disgusting heroes, that's Ace. Ace plays Broodmother. Ace plays Arc Warden. What's the other big one that Ace plays? Huskar. He plays all of them. I mean, in pubs, he's all over those disgusting heroes.
Yeah, it's true. Only great disgusting things come from Denmark. That's where we give a lot of credit for Cinderin as well as Milk.
They have some, those are great things. How can you say?
They're
How you
great.
flaming sin?
They're disgusting.
No.
They are disgusting.
They've got good pastries. Come
Disgusting, but OP. Yeah.
So here I'm looking at Forev. I think he should be okay in the bottom lane as long as the Night Stalker's with him. But every time this Pugna is left alone, I'm feeling a little bit concerned for him. Spirit Breaker charge, Rubik, Arc Warden is mixed damage because you have the Flux as well as the Spark Wraith if there is a Decrepify. So I think it's really a lot on Febby to make sure that Forev doesn't get shut down in this game, because that's a lot of the early game damage for Immortals in this one. Because CK is a hero that we've seen quite often recently, but takes some time to ramp up. You need that armlet. You need to get that level advantage.
Well, that's the reason why Winter Wyvern's up here. Harassment, have the Night Stalker move between the lanes, so you get what you like, right? It's space for the Pugna, if Night Stalker can create it, and then movement in the lanes.
Yeah, and we'll see Puppy probably just emphasizing mostly on that bottom lane, as we mentioned, because charging Puck, it's kind of
pointless.
Just doesn't really, it has no purpose.
Well, he's charging bottom lane instead, so they're going for Forev. Yapsor's actually in kind of a nice position. The Wraith is cutting off the retreat, so Yapsor moves in. You get your first stun. There's two Spark Wraiths on either side. The creep wave soaked up one, but Forev dragged out way too far. And that is going to be first blood on the off lane. You said you needed protection. Yeah, he obviously didn't use 2 layers.
They had to have the Void to cancel the charge. That's pretty much the only way they get the save there. But he was already blanketed by the Spark Wraiths in the back, so it's definitely a bit difficult. Ace, gotta take some harassment here. This is the low armor heroes that just get punished a bit by this amount of harass, but should be just fine. Even though Arc Warden sits at 0, Pugna at 1. It's all about Puppy's charges, though. Every single time he charges, it should be a kill if they don't cancel it.
Actually, interesting you bring up the the low armor point. Is that where CK has to move early before they're able to build up items to kind of make up for that lack of armor? The 1 armor on the Doombringer is a base. The 0 base on Arc Warden only buffed up by his 1 item at the moment.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna hurt. They'll probably itemize for it. We'll see Doom get some, get like the Ogre creep more than likely to be able to deal with that, to throw it on his teammates. But they're more of like the DK being that front line and Arc Ward and getting online later, because that's just what we see from the hero. The hero needs a lot of time. So they'll buff up the other guys and make sure they're fine. And we'll probably see Puppey get like the casual buckler. That's just, you know, Puppey. Or Medallion, something along those lines, just to be able to throw on his teammates.
Febby and Puppey having it out a little bit. It's only just casual harassment. I think both sides don't really give a crap about this. You're keeping your... Okay, well, maybe you do when you jump down towards Forev with your charge forward. YapzOr's in the neighborhood, just keeping them away. Febby, okay. Well, he does have that Void, thanks to the Decrepify. The amplification was there. Puppey's dropping low, and he won't make it to the Vools in time. So Forev able to level up the kill count on that bottom lane.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there by Puppey. You know, you're playing versus a Pugna lane. Pugna's very fast. If you're going to charge toward that, you're going to get caught up by that 400 movement speed with Boots Windlace. Just got to stay off the map pretty much as that Spirit Breaker, so you get those charges successfully.
Maybe also a good read from Immortals to pull Forev off the lane. Febby's already starting his TP out. He knows the second he gets grabbed like that, there's potentially too much damage coming out from Ace, so makes sense. TP back, build back up again, then just run back out.
Puppey TP'd mid and filled the bottle in the meantime.
Oh, Puppey's going bottom.
That he's
Forev, has he waited a little bit too long to back up? The Spark Wraith is there. YapzOr's going to get in range, and he will do so. Pick him up, throw him down. He's the level 1 Fade Bot available, so Decrepify amplifies a little bit, but Forev will survive and get back to the tower.
3.5 duration. Still quite strong. They need the Spark Wraith after that. Or maybe even like the level of Bash would have been enough if Puppey was level 2, but still only level 1 on that Spirit Breaker, suffering a bit. And we're going to be turning into the first night soon to see how Febby's movements will come out, but I don't know if he can really do so much about the mid lane, because mid one is having a great time as expected. Dragon Knight tends to win these matchups win or come out evenly in majority of these matchups now.
Yeah. So it's good for the DK. It's probably even better the fact that Puck's staying toe-to-toe when the difference between the 1 positions is so different. Like, Ace is just shy of level 4. He's got 12-4 CS at the moment. Comparing that to the CK, who's 4 and a third and 24-9 on the CS. So Kyo's having a lot better time. Febby trying to keep his fun time going as nighttime's just begun. Puppey voided up. The run is still going to go, and Febby's got the movement speed to work it. And Puppey, no way to escape from that one, especially when the Splinter Blast provides more damage. YapzOr's going to be quick to follow up, even though he gets the AoE stun. You got MP's rotation. Orbs over. YapzOr tries to deny himself, but Febby just get the claws into his back right at the right moment before the Black Dragons will attack. And thanks to those Black Dragons attacking, Febby is forced to run away.
Great start to the night. At least they peel the aggression off from Ace. That's the one benefit, I guess, for Secret. But yeah, they point that out. That glaring differential in CS is pretty massive. Now Secret's actually just rotating because they don't feel like they can stop that pressure. And they're going to try to pressure Q on, but this is tough.
Where's the TP support?
They don't have Infernal Blade, but they might have enough anyway to chase him out with that secondary bash from Puppey.
They need to bring the Doom in range for the burn, and it will be Scorched Earth to kill him, even though he's hiding in the trees. Farder is able to find that kill.
That secondary bash was pretty needed, actually. Without the level up in Infernal Blade, Fada did not have it just yet, but after the kill, now he has it, and they've got good ways to threaten kills. So now it looks like they're just going to sack Ace. This is a kind of a secret strategy. This is what they'd like to do a lot of the times when they play. Just leave their carry alone and then emphasize on the other 2 lanes, since mid one is their true carry most of the time.
I had to double take for a second. I'm like, secret strategy? Wait,
yeah,
no, everybody knows about it.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
It's a trap in words.
So Forev and Febby have done their job down here. The Pugna is level 4. Arcane Boots, he's going to be able to put a lot of pressure on whenever the catapult does rotate down, and should be able to not let Ace have a good time at all.
But with the Spark Wraiths protecting him for the moment, at least Ace can soak up some levels again, but he will be behind the CK.
Yeah. And that's pretty damn scary. I mean, we're looking at Immortals, right? This is old MVP. These guys are going to run at that Arc Warden as soon as they're able to. And it's going to start happening very shortly. Puck is now 6. They're starting to get their level advantage, and it's still nighttime. So they're definitely going to press their advantage.
Really good scan from Team Secret. They understand that Febby is hanging in the tree line, so mid one's playing very defensively, but also good movement from Immortals. Having that Observer Ward on top of the Dire Ancient, on top of the Radiant Ancient area, they're able to see any kind of counter movement from Team Secret. So Easy to escape, no real risk maneuver, but they go to bottom lane. That is where Arc Warden being attacked under the tower. He's trying to get the Spark Rays down. Febby's going to tank up most of it, allowing Forev to keep attacking. Hits that level 3 Nether Blast as Ace cuts through the tree lines. Another Spirit down, but the Silence MP able to hit him with both the Orb and the Rift, giving him the damage they need. And Immortals will take the T1 tower to follow. CK going to go into Chaos Bolt, as well as his full ultimate. Phantasm needs that damage to kill off Yapsel with a Fade Bolt. Damage reduced, and reinforcements have arrived from Team Secret, but so has from MP. A 3-man Dream Coil. They actually keep QO alive. He's salving up, ready to fight once more, and that Scorched Earth from Fada is now worn out. Mid one will arrive. A double damaging Dragon. A perfect time for Mid one to come in. A double kill for him, and now both sides will claim the safe lane Tier 1 towers.
That was a great rotation, yep. Perfect timing there for mid one. But the puck also, that was quite a decent one, but they're pretty durable on the side of Secret. This is what we were talking about. The Spirit Breaker, the Doom, the DK, these 3 heavy frontliners don't really care too much about this spell damage. Once Winter Wyvern gets some more levels in the Arctic Burn, that's some of the damage, but Forev, at least during that, is able to take that bottom tower. And we see the Phantasm get nuked down very quickly here, of course, from the AoE burst.
But I wonder if this actually begs the question. We were talking about, at least with the low armor, maybe that would make it a little harder for Team Secret. But where was that physical damage? Yep. We were asking for it with the 5th pick, going, how are they actually going to find this Immortals? Or even tossing up Phantom Assassin, even though you said that would lose the game. Yeah. But like, how would you find that damage in the future? Is it just CK having to level more than he already has?
That's what they need. They need to like have the armlet online. This hero takes quite a while still, and QO is feeling the pressure. Even though he was free farming up a bit top, he's 0-2 now. He's queued up a Midas on that
he's
CK.
actually changed his mind. Dubu's on the run on top lane. Quick Infernal Blade's going to hit him. MP able to kill off Puppey in the jungle in the meantime. So kills on both sides of the map. Supports the ones to die. But Forev's adding the pressure, so the money will still come in with this push.
Yeah, Puppey's fine with this though. This is his role actually as the team lately. I've been seeing he just dies, tanks the ganks, especially when Yapstor's playing the Rubik. Make sure he can get his items online.
They're charging MP. It looks like Team Secret want to fight in the bottom lane. MP, okay, they're going to pull out the Spark Wraith, triggered out by Ace, and now he's going to clone it up as well, looking for as much damage as he can to Febby, who starts his TP. Yapsor will cancel it, however, and Ace will find that kill on the escaping Night Stalker.
Ace needs those kills to come back.
They're going to smoke up and try and push.
Trying to get some kind of pick off here.
Oh, it's going to be Puppey, but under the shrine?
He should be fine with the charge away. Yeah, he's gone.
Well, they don't find him. And they will find the DK. Decrepified up. Puppey's already started his charge out. Bafada with a TP. Again, Team Secret coming in force.
Did he just get the stun after the life drain started again? It looks like that happened because of the projectile. So Forev tries to decrep drain, gets stunned up. And they're in the jungle right next to a shrine. You're going to get outnumbered there. Very aggressive play coming up from Immortals. And Secret, the big shining stars right now are definitely Fada and mid one being at the right place at the right time.
Yep. They're always TPing in, but then again, it's that position, right? Immortals had the vision, but they're still fighting underneath an active shrine. So mid one can push the mid. But the rest of Immortals are now backed up, so the Hand of Midas did complete over on QO. He's gone bush, while you've got Puck up on the top lane trying to finish up his full Veil. And not too far off at 250 gold.
So they'll have,
except he just got doomed. So all that wonderful money which he's got, Fada is on the run. Support's coming in, so if Fada commits to this, he may die to QO as well as Forev. Decrepify is there, they start draining out the Doombringer. Support is not coming in from Team Secret. So Fada, who has 1 kill and 0 deaths, is now going to have his first death of the game. MP will probably survive, especially now the Puppey has cancelled his charge.
They get mid-tower out of it though. I mean, there's a bit of a overzealous play by Fada. He wasn't able to close the distance to get that Infernal Blade hit. I think if he had gotten the Infernal Blade initially with the Scorcher Earth up, he would have been able to chase it down. But ambitious play by himself, not even under the vision of a charge or anything like that, so he can keep the sights on the puck.
Kyo is really delaying this armlet. He's actually going to finish up his treads now that he's got the Midas. So looking for that instant strength for now.
He maxed the stun. We've been seeing the 1-4-1 build pretty much every time now, even 1-4-4. But he went for the 4 max points in the stun. A bit different from the playstyle we've been seeing. Puppey charge top. Forev should be getting brought down here quite easily.
Yeah, that Spark Ray is going to rip him apart. Long duration hurts, and then Fada Infernal Blades him. Maybe the lack of Reality Rift points is just because of what we were talking about with Team Secret's Heroes not having that much armor.
But then you want to negate them even more.
True.
So the
especially with DK, actually.
It's very strange, and like we see the 1-4-4 build because you get to farm a lot harder with that Chaos Strike in the jungle, so you get your armlet at better timings. I haven't seen the 4 Chaos Ball build in quite a long time on the CK, to be honest. But this, if anything, that kind of it makes a little bit of sense for Immortals, just because that's the way they like to play, right? Very aggressive with QO, so he wants to get involved on kills with stuns, but not crazy about it. I like the Reality Rift Max build a lot.
So if he keeps hitting 4-second stuns, we'll say he's a genius. For now,
fair enough.
Dubu in a little bit of trouble inside the Radiant jungle. Arctic Burn's going to be stolen by Yapsaw.
That's a very nice spell to steal.
And a very easy kill for mid one. Having a double damage room ready and bolted up. Revenge being searched for by MP in the mid, but it's Ace, it's an Arc Warden. It's difficult, to say the least, with their lineup.
Ace is starting to catch back up, almost has the Midas finished. So he's doing all right, still like 1,300 gold behind QO, but mid one is the big problem, of course, on that Dragon Knight. I think he actually finished up, was it a Blink Dagger? He has a full Shadow Blade already actually coming on the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, he's the one that wants to initiate, but he's being initiated on right now. Immortals, it's all over him. The Shadow Blade does come in, but Febby will find the kill just in time before the invis can be triggered off Yapsaw. That little Arctic Burn, or sorry, his Darkness, just flying himself away. Puppey, reinforcements in, but now he's dragged in by QO. So back-to-back kills now here for Immortal. And they may go for a little bit more. I was thinking about the mid tower, but with the pressure being applied by Fada to the top, Febby is forced to move off the mid lane.
So right there, you know, your point was proven. QO's a genius. He got a 3-second stun there, and the Shadow Blade, if it was a 2-second stun, he would have maybe been able to use the invis there. No, it's just split-second timing, though. Mid one a bit unlucky there with the courier. Might have been able to live.
Yapsaw looks
Pretty
so
funny,
bloody stupid riding his broomstick in with Darkness. He's the ultimate witch or warlord, however you want to put it. Forev picked off. Simple initiation, and the maybe they also didn't see the reveal of the Shadow Blade.
I don't think they saw it
during the last
up.
fight, or else that wouldn't have happened right there.
Yeah. Oh, I was confused because you kept saying Darkness. I'm like, oh, Hunter in the Night. Yeah, the Rubik's running around very fast. That's actually pretty cool that you can steal that with with Rubik. In the past, Night Stalker is not really the greatest versus Rubik's not the greatest versus Night Stalker, but with that, you can always fly away, set up for kills, get vision, and it's of course when nighttime you get that boost of movement speed and attack speed. That's pretty sweet. Haven't really seen that too often.
Just have to correct my names on it.
Yeah, I was a little confused.
Yeah.
He's actually entirely skipping Armlet. He's going straight for Echo Saber on QO.
Okay.
So maybe because of the damage ticks that they have, I guess with the DK form as well as the Scorched Earth and Infernal Blade, he doesn't feel like it's as needed in this type of game.
There seems like a lot of confidence as well from Febby. He's going directly, well, I say directly, he's already got Urn as well as Phase Boots, but he's building Academ Scepter. No Midas or nothing like that to help him get there. It's just directly into Academ Scepter after his initial items.
Yeah, usually you see it versus like heavy team fight or something, so they can see like the blink initiators. But I guess this time because of the Shadow Blade and Febby.
Yeah, not certain he really wanted to be there. Not while Yapsaw's in the neighborhood. This time he'll steal the level 4 Void. Febby is being charged. Puppey's on his way. But he's coming a long way up river, and Febby, the damage is not enough.
Fada did not. He like canceled the Doom as well. He didn't want to commit it onto that 4 support hero. But Febby's pretty farmed. Maybe whatever. That's like negligible. He just wants to save it for the next team fight. For when they go get an objective off of it, they can actually push with Doom up.
You kind of wish, though, he would spend his money like he's sitting on 1.1k unreliable gold. So just get that point booster, or it looks like the courier's in the neighborhood anyway, and it does actually buy exactly that. The point booster is on the way. But while this push is happening up on top, we've got double TPs coming down the bottom lane. Forev being charged. Nether ward is in the trees, which now get broken apart. Forev, that damage is high. He'll decrepify up quickly. Fada in the neighborhood. Forev trying to drain out the catapult to try and stay alive.
Oops. He was dead anyway, but
yeah,
slightly misclick there. Probably trying to click the Doom.
But the DK took the top tier 2 tower, bottom tower. Again, Immortals being denied that push.
They're being very... I mean, it's Immortals, right? It's old MVP. They're going to be very aggressive. They're going to go for those dive plays. But when you get punished versus this time of the lineup, or when you do that, you're going to get punished versus this time of the lineup with the Dragon Knight. And now Yapsaw, he stole the Nether Blast. That's going to be so useful for his team when they group up around that Dragon Knight. And Fada as well is going for Crimson Guard, so they're trying to make up for those armor instances to deal with the CK at least.
Yep.
But Pugna still is going to be a damage-dealing problem. He's going for a Dagon on the Pugna. I have seen him been doing this in some of his pub games just because of how powerful it is too. Because they're going to have the Veil, they're going to have the Decrep on top.
They may also need like quick and easy burst ways to get rid of the clones on the side lane. considering they lack the physical damage.
Yeah,
this is going to start causing them a lot of problems when, well, I say when BTs arrive, but for the moment, Ace is still working on his Maelstrom.
Yeah. Oh, Yapsor might get caught out here, though. He has the Nether Blast, but he doesn't have anything defensive. Yeah, he's just going to accept his death.
Oh, boy. That Decrepify amplification is just insane.
They're really gonna lack physical. It's all relying on QO if he is truly gonna be going for the Dagon on the Pugna, which it doesn't matter what you get on a Pugna. Life Drain is
it's space creation though, right? Like,
yeah,
so
I guess.
For the mid game, you focus on your magical damage. Into the late game, you look for the unstoppable QO.
I guess Arc Warden doesn't want to build the BKB till super late in the game, so you can just insta burst him in a lot of occasions as the Pugna. So it kind of makes sense to me in that manner.
The double Shadowblade boys were looking for a pickoff. Very difficult to get one onto MP now that he's finished up his Blink Dagger, has the Veil. There's so much amplification they're going to be scared of, and Yapsor, he's copying at the moment, moving back behind the tower. Febby able to get the Void off, but not before the Decrepify wears out, so there's not as much damage as they would have really liked. Support is TPing in, Fada as well as mid one, passing past the Shrine, but QO with the Phantasm, he needs vision, but one of them has the Shadowblade. Fada into the tree lines, and mid one's just trying to bait them in.
QO finds Ace, though. That's pretty massive.
Big pick.
Just able to get the Arc Warden. That's solo as well. He just found him farming the jungle and instantly brought him down with that Phantasm.
So finally, Immortals get to claim the tower with the death of one of the cores of Secret.
Yeah, Secret's definitely struggling a bit because their lack of the teamfight lineup. They can't really run into Immortals unless they have a clear vision advantage or an outnumbered advantage, just because of the nature of their heroes. Winter Wyvern, Puck, Pugna, just way too hard for Secret to run into at this point in time.
It does seem kind of crazy to say that when you have a Spirit Breaker on that team. Like, you're meant to run into the mid one,
MP
looking
mid.
for an opening. As it's just MP getting aggressive against Fada. The charge is coming forward on the way from Puppey. Mid one won't be able to catch up, and with Darkness being triggered, Team Secret wary to move to the dire side of the river.
Team Secret are really struggling on the vision department this game. Look at the wards coming out from Immortals. It's actually just blanketed the entire enemy side of the map at this point.
And they just saw the smoke too.
Yeah, now they see the smoke too. The whole time so far, Immortals has been playing with very good vision versus Secret. They're not really leading too much. It's only a, like negligible lead. It's pretty much bouncing between 0 at this point.
Yep. But when you have like Doom in the lineup as well, you expect a little bit more money to come in, but he went for the Crimson Guard build.
He always takes the Health Town as well on Fada. He never takes the 80 Devour Gold. I saw that he did I think twice at Star Letter, I want to say. That he did play, or maybe it was just once. But
you do it to be more efficient when you go into like a longer split push game.
Yeah, I think it's just a preference because he's playing off lane. He already knows that they have a Dragon Knight, they have an Arc Warden, they have those type of like the methods to take it to late game. He just wants to be that front liner that doesn't care, that makes space for that arc. So it makes sense.
Well, that'll work until QO gets big.
Yeah, it'll work for a bit. He's 20, almost 2200 HP on this Doom with 8 armor. He's pretty damn durable at the moment.
Yeah, and of course the regeneration he's going to get when he turns on Scorched Earth.
Yeah. Puppey tries to get the charge off bottom, but unable to. So it's all space at the moment for Secret. They're really just, you have playing with an Arc Warden. It's going to take a very long time for this hero to get online. They just have to keep picking these beneficial fights, trying to play around the daytime as much as possible, but now that it is night, it's going to be Immortals leading the charge and looking for pickoffs.
I'm still wondering how long it's going to take for Ace to get online. Like, Maelstrom, Midas, now he's working in towards the BTs. We're 20 minutes in on the Arc Warden. Like, is there ways he can speed it up, or are you okay with the timing for the Arc Warden?
It's going to be like 30 minutes before he can really get involved into stuff. That's just the nature of the hero. We saw a similar kind of thing from Ame in the last series. I think that's just the way the hero has to be played. I like the variety that Ame did, though, with the blink into the Hex after the Mjolnir. And speaking of variety, QO is doing a very QO thing. He's going Shadowblade on the CK to get him to be able to pierce those back lines.
Well, he's going to have an initiation. He's got the front line. He's got Fada. Walk straight up onto him.
Maybe he goes for Silver Edge versus the DK to remove that Dragon's Blood eventually, but I think this one's just to pick off the Arc Warden when he's split pushing, not so much versus the Dragon Knight.
The Observer Ward saw Puppey in the tree line behind the tier 2, behind the tier 1 tower. So while the 4 heroes smoke up, there's not a lot of vision for the Radiant side at the moment. They still don't see him, so they're using the CK to scout. And
they're
CK,
both scouting.
He doesn't find Wyvern. Well, he doesn't find the Dragon Knight, sorry.
They're both stalking. Elder Dragon form has worn off, though. I don't know if Secret really wants to fight this. They have to stall more.
Spirit Breaker's charging top. We'll see if mid one, well, he doesn't react to it as all the fight in the mid. They charge the opposite direction, leaving Fada exposed, as well as that mid tier 1 tower. So both Fada and Yapzor bite the dust. The tier 1 tower will join them.
Uh-oh, definitely a concern. They can't really fight at all versus what Immortals got, and Immortals might just make their way into the Roche pit now.
They are doing exactly that. And now we'll see the damage.
They've got Spark Rates to throw Vision in there, but there's no way Secret can contest this.
Well, Yapzor's up in 5 seconds time. Arc Warden has his clone available too if they want to try it. But they have to move over. Roshan's going down. It's taking a little bit of time. Thanks to Reality Rift, you do have the negative armor they're looking for.
Radiant Courier just died. Is that to creeps?
Let me just check the position of it.
Yeah,
it was creeps between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower in mid. Meanwhile,
and they get the Roche. Okay, so they get a little bit more surge of gold from that Courier as well as the Roche, and that's a big benefiter. When you're playing versus these long cooldowns like Doom, and you have an Aegis on one of your main carries, it's definitely a problem for Secret.
You also just bought more time. So Roshan goes down. Immortals now have Febby farming up on the bottom lane too, so he's building in very close that Aghanim Scepter, only 500 gold away from it. So you got a team 500 gold away from having unobstructed vision.
When they have
an Aegis
and a team fight advantage lineup.
Yep.
So they can choose to when they want to do pickoffs, when they want to do team fights as well, because of this Aghanims that'll be out on the Night Stalker, as well as the Shadow Blade as we mentioned on QO.
Do you like the item build as well from QO?
You go hard. This is the item, yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely. This is just the build on the CK. Usually we see the armlet in between, not the Shadow Blade.
Wrap around. They're looking to have a crack over on Febby. Yapzor's going to get the pickup. And MP, the jump in, 3-man silence and Dream Coil. Mid one has the BKB to protect him, but then he's instantly cursed up. Vada and Ace attacking into him. Now he breaks free, and Febby will end up falling. QO's in the backlines, but all the moment he's doing is attacking a clone. It's not enough for him to really fight with. Put into the boy in the bubble moment. Mid one, he'll find the kill, getting drained down. It's only the Aegis more to burn, so a 1-for-1 trade off the supports plus the Aegis. Doombringer caught on the wrong side of the tracks. To finds Sakuro has to wait to attack him, and that will allow MP to secure the kill with his level 4 Rift.
Bit of an awkward fight, just the way it was kind of taken. But as soon as we see the BKB wear off on mid one, Secret just can't team fight.
Yep.
And I think they're going to need like a Blink Dagger on the Doom in order for him to get those positions for the jump, because he's just walking into the fights, getting completely controlled and getting silenced over and over again, getting stunned. He just can't find a Doom target. I think he did. Yeah, he did queue up a Blink Dagger next after that Crimson Guard. So he's very durable, but he can't really get his Doom off.
MP, that's a fun jump. Silence on mid one as well as Yapzor, who's killing off the ward, while Puppy was charging forward to QO. More supports coming in, but QO goes to the Phantasm. The Chaos Bolt, 2 seconds stun over on mid one. Now stolen by Yapzor. Ready to inflict it into the Chaos Knight. A 4-second stun for Yapzor, plus the reveal of Dust. Nowhere to hide. QO will end up falling. He cannot go invis with a Shadow Blade because of that Dust. There is a little bit of a revenge, however. A perfect Dream Call, giving MP a double kill. But Immortals, they don't have the numbers anymore. 3 heroes down, it's about to become 4. A quick phase shift, and will that jump away? It won't happen.
Oh,
it was a stolen ward? Is that actually what that was with the Nether Ward? No, it was still just being disabled, can't blink away, and Immortal lose too many on top of the Radiant Shrine.
This is such an Immortals game. That's all I'm thinking. It's just battles happening everywhere. It's 16 to 18 at 25 minutes. The places where the fights are being taken to. Look where that one's taken. Immortals chooses to take this fight near the enemy shrine with no objectives to be gained. So here we see QO does get caught. He can Shadow Blade and kind of just run if he wants to, but he wants to fight. Night Stalker is not there. Febby is not into this, and this is going to be a 5-man fight for Secret. So they already have numbers advantage. It seems like it's such a strange position for them to really want to just go for that fight rather than just running away and resetting, because they don't have all their heroes. So fighting on top of the shrine with no real objective to gain, definitely a bit of a blunder there for Immortals.
Yeah, they have to try and curve this, or else they're going to end up giving Team Secret a larger opening, and that's exactly what happened. Like, it wasn't a huge advantage. Like, you're sitting around 3,000 gold in experience advantage for Immortals before that fight, and now it starts to more flatline level it out in the graphs. So, still a very close game. Of course, as you said, a perfect Immortals game. Keep the fighting going. Once that heart is up on QO, then you start to question just how much damage Team Secret will have. But at the moment, it appears to be there in droves.
Yeah, they should be able to be honest. Like, they're making a lot of space for Ace on the Arc Ward. And look, he's already getting to top 2 on net worth. He's got Mjolnir finished up in a second now. I think Secret's doing a great job of stalling versus this Pugna lineup, who's claimed only 3 towers at the 26-minute mark. That top tower still has 1,200 out of 14 life. Immortals hasn't even gone up there. They've just wanted to battle inside the enemy jungle, battle inside the other side of the enemy jungle, not really looking at the objective game, just fight, fight, fight. And that's Immortals in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like we said.
I wonder if it's also Immortals thinking like it's more about the high ground than anything else. YapzOr silences out, mid one, right behind MP. Support's going to be there in the form of Dubu. They get the strike onto MP as Puppey starts running up into the river. He's really on the wrong side of this, so Febby's able to help bring him down with the help of Forev. But the curse keeping Doombringer out of the fight, while it will be Ace trapped in by QO. And here is that damage Immortal wants with mid one's BKB wearing off. He's out of range of any kind of detection. There's no gem, there's no dust, so he can just keep the run going. And Febby focusing to grab into YapzOr. He can't reach him, so he voids Fighter instead. QO, he's on the way in. Reality Rift pulling in the Doom. So much negative armor and the 4-second Chaos Bolt. Combine it with the Sucky of Forev. They'll bring down Fighter, and they're looking for another bigger one. They're going to be the last Dragon Slayer if possible. Mid one's on the run. The last survivor of his race. Team Secret being that. All 5 down. Maybe they can get the Chaos Knight. No, they can't. The Doom isn't enough damage either.
I'm waiting to see Forev's damage in this fight. Oh, nice Pugna. I love me some Pugna.
2.5, almost 2.6k.
The Nether Ward did a lot in that fight as well. But so that curse was interesting. So Dubu gets it off, and it actually pulls Ace into it, so he can't use his hero, right? And then QO comes in and reality rifts him out of it and ends up getting the kill. And Ace ports right into his death. It's looking like onto the shrine. He's got it up though. He's gonna build a man fight for a bit. Oh my god! Is he gonna kill Forev?
Ace, he's looking for it. He's in the bubble. Forev to grab a fire MP in through the rear. He'll claim the real and the clone.
Where the lightning procs where he needed them.
Oh boy, Order 66 failed.
Wow. And what a swing coming out. Now it's 5k advantage for Immortals, but this is they're just fighting. They're not going for objectives, dude. This team's crazy.
This is what we hope to see. I'm fairly certain every single person, when they saw the lineup of Immortals being announced, was like, hell yes, bring me some spice in my games, please.
I mean, now they've got QO's got a full heart now after all this, and now they're finally looking. They're like, guys, there's still a top tower. Let's go up there. But wait, there's a hero mid. Let's kill him. Okay, wait, top tower. And that's the way they play. They just like to go for kills and try to get that advantage through it. Oh, and it's working.
The AoE stun to create space, but this is that jump.
Yep.
Ace TPing in where he had absolutely no vision, and Immortals, as you said, their ward game was perfect.
Yeah, that Decrepify, look at how clutch that was. The raindrop as well, saving him on top of that Decrep. Just perfectly played there by Forev, and look at that smile.
Everything's coming up, Immortals. TP's coming in towards the top lane as well, very quickly cancelled. That was actually mid one coming back, and he's all the way on the bottom lane, and Immortals quickly pinged this as well, so they understand the DK has to walk back from the bottom lane. They'll take this as an invitation to push into the tier 3 tower.
No Phantasm up for now.
YapzOr trying to slow it down. The Dream Call from MP's gonna miss. YapzOr was looking for a quick spell steal, triggered the Lincoln Sphere of MP, and the Drain onto Puppey. He came in close, the Drain won't be enough. Puppey is in a safe zone, but Doombringer, again, the bubble protection. Immortals tried to push, they did some decent damage, but they don't claim the objective.
They forced reaction. I think that's the biggest thing there. They got some deep wards down, they forced reaction. I think they're pretty happy about that, but Secret, I think this is the time for sure for them to buy a gem, try to get that ward vision, because I think they're starting to feel that they're just under vision at all times in this.
How do you get the ward vision when Febby has the Aghanim Scepter?
It is tough.
It's almost impossible, and coming up to the next fight, which will be Roshan, he'll spawn up in under a minute. This is another reason probably why Immortals backed up. If they try to force that issue, lost the fight, they'll give Team Secret the opportunity to take out the big man.
They know that Secret knows that Immortal threatened the high ground, so they're assuming there's some base wards, etc., stuff like that. I don't know if they really want to get like so many big wards out versus that gem, maybe just some high ground ones. But other than that, I think they need the gem to just catch the CK as well. This Shadow Blade is actually pretending to be quite an issue for them. DD on QO. He's looking for a pickoff. Level 20 now as well.
He hasn't found the opening just yet. Instead, they're picking off the wards, which is making Team Secret a little bit more nervous. Because they know gem on gem action. Very difficult for either side to get a proper jump. Even more difficult for Team Secret during nighttime. And we have another 42 seconds worth of that nighttime. And darkness coming off cooldown in 5 seconds time. So it's, you could say it's a nightmare.
I'm done. That was decent.
Well, welcome to the worst joke of the day.
I'll probably have a worse one than that. Actually, Paul probably already had like 4 worse ones today.
That's true. We just don't hear him because we don't listen to Paul.
Yeah.
Jump forward, QO being initiated on, charge in. A lot of damage on the Puppy for that charge. Even with the Doom on the CK, you know he can tank it out, and the Curse is wasting the BKB of mid one. By the time he gets out the Curse, the BKB is already done.
Yeah, Immortals is just going to reset. They didn't have to commit anything big. Secret committed both of their big ults, the Dragon Form as well as the Doom. So they're just going to wait. Doom is over, and now it's their time to get that aggression going.
You do have Darkness running out, though. That's going to be the only disadvantage here for Immortals. So they won't have the pure vision advantage because we're coming out Darkness into daytime.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, 24, 28. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
They're going for the smoke up anyway. They want to fight anyway because it's under it's into the no ultimates that Secret has.
They want to fight anyway because they're Immortals.
Because they're Immortals. No, it's Elder Dragon Form and Doom are the only really real team fight skills that Secret have. While Immortal has quite a lot more, and they're not having to use Phantasm, of course, for any of this. So they're going to have it for their Aegis and Cheese Siege push.
Yep. Ready for that one. Roshan's already down to 1/3 of his HP. Team Secret not really in the area to contest this, and with the creep wave pushing in through top with no defense, this has to flag warning bells for Team Secret. Something is awry.
I just don't think they just can't touch that. I don't really see how they can fight into Immortals lineup when they're 5. They have to look for pickoffs in the back lines, but versus this Night Stalker Aghanims, and Immortals just been sticking together. That's the one big beautiful thing when you are just non-stop fighting and a fighting team is you're always going to be together.
So do you just wait for it? If Immortals is that predictable, they're going to fight as a big group. Can Team Secret defend high ground? Let the tier 2 tower drop in mid and fight them inside.
I think that's their only way that they can. They still have to buy more time for this Arc Warden. He's not online. And even if he does get online, playing versus a CK like this already, who's sitting at 4k HP, soon to have an AC on top, which will push him up to the 25 armor mark, it's going to be really tough for them to actually bring him down or just force them out of their base.
Well, Immortals have claimed that last outer tower. They want the tier 3. This will open up the shrines as well, so the only outer positions the Team Secret have to work with. Under threat if they can bring it down, the Darkness up for Febby, so vision gain from Team Secret is even worse. They only barely see outside their base with this vision change. QO into the Spark Race, but all he's got to do is back up, regenerate up a little bit once the heart kicks in. And they can just keep doing this time and time again.
Yeah, Forev almost level 20 now too.
Oh, he's straight in close. Mid one initiates. He's looking for the kill onto Pugner. It won't work when Dubu is there to protect him with that cold embrace. Fada in, I say, way too deep. He's underneath his own tier 3 tower, and that's not enough to survive. Puppy will get brought down as well on the back lines, and it looks like Immortals are cracking the top of the Team Secret base. They'll go in, they'll kill off mid one. QO's got a triple kill. Buybacks coming thick and fast from Team Secret. It's all or nothing. They have to find a defense here. Fighting against the Netherward, hard to do. They don't have any reveal. They've lost the gem as well. DK's not buying back. Without Dragon Form, it is kind of futile to do so anyway. But with Ace, they can at least force them back out. Night Stalker will die, but when Night Stalker is worth almost 600 gold for a kill, you know you're in a bad position. Fada will blink in for the Doom, keeping Pugner off the lines. QO's in deep. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal, but where's the detection? He's walking out. Fada comes back in again. He's got the Gem of True Sight, so QO a quick reality rift. Dubu will curse over on Fada. Ace keeping the distance for the moment. They'll get a quick Infernal Blade. QO needs to die here now. Team Secret, they need some exit kills. QO being picked up by Yapsor. Hold him in close. Hold him in tight to the bosom of Team Secret. QO will end up falling. 80 seconds for him on the sidelines, and for all the buybacks which Team Secret actually committed, they get huge kills on the way out, and they hold their mid ranks. Even if they lost their tier 3 tower, this has to be worth it in the position they were in.
It's close. It still is quite a lot that they had to expend to go for those kills.
Considering it was practically GG if they didn't get what happened, yeah, you're taking this.
They're still at a massive deficit even after all that. I think, did they get the gem? Did they not get the gem from Febby?
No, the gem got regathered by Doom. Fada got back in there and
That was
grabbed it.
that was their gem though. Yeah.
That was theirs?
Yeah, that was
it was
the one
it was on mid 1. It got dropped on mid 1, then regathered.
But right now they're lacking damage so highly. Dubu's been so on point with his cold embraces.
Mid 1, he's going to be found. He's actually going to go for the Wyvern. Have they got enough damage with the Spark right there? Dubu, he's going to cold embrace himself up. Needs the life. Ace looking for the magical damage through that Mjolnir, and he's going to get it as well. The follow-up bash, now the strike into Febby. Multiple heroes down for Immortals, and they don't have buyback.
And that's the gem now. Now they take the gem from Febby. Mid 1 though, nearly dropping to just that decrep Dagon. It doesn't do so much damage. But Ace still having a decent amount of damage through that cold embrace, pretty relevant. But Dubu's really been on point with these cold embraces this game. Every time instantly someone gets focused, he's on that.
This will be a harder push now. I don't think Team Secret can really force it. QO's back up with Phantasm. Puck is respawning as well.
They still need a lot more on Secret. They need this Arc Warden to be even bigger. And Mid 1 having to buy back there, his net worth has been totally halted at 13k.
Problematic for him.
Yes, still a big concern coming out for Secret. They're getting online though. The high ground defense is the big thing as Arc Warden. With that magnetic field plus those spark rates, it's very hard to just go for the kills. I think if Immortals had played a little bit slower, if they just reset after the initial jump from the Dragon Knight, maybe they can try to slow play with the Pugna. But it is a bit tough with that blink reveal from Mid 1.
Yeah. It was nicely played by Team Secret. They understood they had to take it to Immortals.
You have to versus Pugna.
And not just passively play it.
Yeah, you have to versus Pugna, because once Pugna gets level 22, gets that increased cast range, you can just blast from all the way down the hill.
Can Team Secret still find enough space for Mid 1 to farm? Like, he's out a long, long way. I'm thinking the more Ace pushes, does he just do side lanes only?
I think Mid 1 just has to get gold through kills at this point. Some neutral farm as well. It's mostly going to be Ace taking the whole map, though.
Yeah. Because right now he's taking all of the camps. His clones are pushing in, he's doing the side lane, and the primary reason he's doing it at the moment is looking for a BKB.
He needs it. He really needs it this game. That's what we were talking about. You don't really want to build it on an Arc Warden, but you have to at one point versus Pugna versus Puck. And Puck is also going to be going for that Dagon 5. So there's going to be double Dagon 5 on the side of Immortals with Veil and a Decrep. We're going to see heroes getting bursted down from pretty much full.
Yeah. But then again, MP is going to be getting a lot more money soon too. He's only a quarter of a level off 420.
Yeah. He is quite close to that. He actually went for the -3 sec Waning Rift, and he's building into Dagon anyway. So usually we see the Spell Lamp talent because you anticipate getting those Dagons later on.
Maybe he doesn't feel like he needs it when he's also got the Decrepifier Pugna. Like there's already a huge amplification.
It's still pretty nice, but I guess he was feeling like he wanted the matching cooldown of the orb to the silence. It's just preference between players. Ideally though, since he's building Dagon, the amp would probably be better in the long run.
God, Immortals have to keep coming back. They're going to be getting so frustrated about this. Now the top lane is being pressured, Puck is having to return, and it's not like they have a Keeper of the Light in their team that can recall and keep the pressure up. When they do this, they're forced to come back.
Yeah. At least they have bots, right? At least the Puck has that. And now level 25.
This is one of the sexiest things ever. That
gold
counter
yeah.
when you're on a Puck, it's like watching a jackpot. Like you go into Vegas and you see that big thing. Like let me just pull the lever. Let me pull the lever. The money just keeps rising until I pull.
I remember when I first saw it added, and I died as Puck or something. I watched someone die as Puck, and I was like, wow, you actually get like 1,000 gold while you're dead. That's lovely.
Let me just buy my buyback. Oh wait, hang on. The game buys it for me. All right, so Team Secret, they've almost waited enough time for the buyback status to come back off cooldown. They've got another 2.5 minutes before everyone's got their buybacks up again.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of keeping the lanes pushed out, just shoving the lanes with Ace, and we see Mid 1 expanding even Dragon form. Did have an Arcane Rune this time, but trying to do anything to increase his farm. Even takes the GPM talent on the Dragon Knight, understanding that if Secret are going to be the ones to take this game, it's going to be later on, because they just have to rely on getting the Doom on the proper targets, as well as Ace just getting massive on that Arc Warden. But we've been seeing Fada really struggle this game to get those Dooms off. He can't get into the fights because he just gets silenced, gets disabled, or a curse or something along those lines.
Yeah, he's got no real way to break free of that either. Like with the Shiva's Guard as well as the Crimson Guard, at least he provides his team a lot of, like, he's got himself armor as well as like the block and the slow. but he has to get the perfect blink position, but you can't do that against an Aghanim Scepter Night Stalker.
Yeah,
It's impossible for him.
I feel like he should probably go for like a full BKB next, but that might just be a little bit too all in. He's queued up the Halberd, which is quite nice versus the CK, but it doesn't stop the Phantasms.
Actually pinging, looking towards the bottom lane. So Nether Ward is down. They decrepify and get a blast onto the tower. Creep Wave will now arrive. Mid one will cop the next blast, and
The cop, look at the cast range. Look at where he's standing. There's like no risk at the position where you're able to blast from when you get that level 28 plus Aether Lens. When the tower's down, then you're a little bit more risk because you're pushing up a bit more. But
this is why Team Secret initiated before. But you're on the bottom lane. It's not as a wide initiation area as when they push through the mid.
Daytime for 2 minutes. Immortals backs up.
Yeah, they don't have darkness for another 72 seconds, so they can't even force it.
Yep.
And then Ace capitalizes on the opportunity. Send the clone towards the top lane. And they actually smoke up themselves, Team Secret. Oh, you want to try and defend. There's no one really defending the bottom tower, so I wonder if Immortals will worry about this.
MP just broke the smoke mid. He blinked in and he was trying to clear the creep wave, but unfortunately Yapsor was inside that area. So they do see him, and we'll probably see the next fight happen around this rush.
Yeah, he is up.
Nighttime in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. If Secret can capitalize on the daytime
He's got an Invis rune and he's still got the gem. So they jump in. It's actually Team Secret. They're going to go into the pit.
DD
now,
Dragon Knight.
Immortals don't know about this. They don't have vision inside of Roshan. Yeah, as you said, with that Dragon Knight having the double damage, this is going to happen a lot faster than Immortals would probably think it would. So Night Stalker.
They're pinging it. They know something's up now.
Yeah, they're coming in. Puck just TP'd in. Here comes your Orb Scout. Roshan down to 4.6k, and Team Secret. They back out of the pit, trigger the Shadow Blade on mid one, and they're looking for an opportunity.
Oh, they're not gonna have Dragon form now for the fight. It's going to be wearing out soon.
Maybe then you don't have the
They're
fight.
trying to just pick it. They're trying to just go for it right now.
They're looking
maybe
at
get
QO.
Yep.
Charge
They got the Doom on him.
That is nice. Remember, he's still got the heart, and that shrine's available. If they can reach it, then Immortals will have a chance to fight. The curse is there, and space is getting created, and the counter curse is onto the Pugna, but the cold embrace from Dubu will protect him for a little bit. Ace is still there to bring in that magical damage, and under the shrine, it's still not enough. Double buybacks on the way from Immortal. They want to win this fight while MP was picking up the backlines. Rubik is down for the count. Ace also caught in no man's land. So a bit of a quick breakout. It was just the illusion for the moment. The clone, the real one, is being chased down by the puck. Here comes your TP. Where's the disable? Where's the stun? It doesn't exist. But Immortals, with a buyback now, they have to claim Roshan to make this worth it.
Yeah, they 100% have to. Beautiful that time. Finally, Fada gets the doom of the century right there.
That range had to be at, like, maximum range.
And then, of course, Dubu with a beautiful curse, not only to shut down mid one's BKB doing the filtration, then Yapsor steals it, then Dubu throws a cold embrace on top of that initial curse. But overall, overall Secret coming out ahead in that one. Immortals having to expend heavy buybacks. At least they're able to claim the Aegis, but just look at the gold. That comeback from Secret is massive, and there's the Doom from maximum distance thanks to the charge from Puppey. And it's just it's a pretty great place for Secret to fight because of they're all stacked up, and that's where Ace just sits in the backlines, and with the Mjolnir and Lightning procs, it's more than enough damage to bring everybody down. But yeah, that curse from Yapsor was absolutely beautiful on top of the Doom from Fada.
Yeah, it really did enable Ace just to go ham.
Yep, just sit in the back. That's all this hero needs to do is you need those tanky frontliners or some kind of disable to just let you have that distance away from the fight.
So Immortals, like you're 45 minutes in, you have the Aegis Immortal in your hands, it's in the hands of the CK. How do you approach it this time? It hasn't worked the last times you pushed into the Team Secret base. What do you change to be effective? Maybe not this, like losing Dubu in such a position. Oh, actually, maybe they don't. MP jumps in, double Dream Call. Initiation was there. Yapsor Ghost tries to protect it, but just amplifies the damage of MP's Dagon. And the stun, Papi, they keep pushing him down with the 4-star. A 3-second stun, but then again, you got the CK so far on the front lines. There's no buyback available from Yapsor. Papi gets drained out by Ace. Aegis Immortal is burnt, but there's the curse, slowing down the fight. Dubu trying to bail out. He cannot do so. Not enough life, not when Fada was that close to him. Now the 3-second stun, another Dagon kill. Buyback available for the Doombringer, so Team Secret can at least get back to a 3-man lineup, but that will be all they have for this unless mid one can find the perfect jump. It's not going to be the perfect jump. In fact, it's the worst jump. He just gets exploded. No buyback for the DK. What do you do here? The Doombringer and the Arc Warden, they are the ones that have to hold it, but Ace gets pulled in. It's the BKB doing the work, at least for his clone. The real one is back at base, but this looks like a double lane of racks that Immortals can now claim.
Having level 25 now in QO, he can use the Reality Rift to pierce through that BKB to force them into some disadvantageous positions. But yeah, Immortals with that Aegis, with that cheese.
Is this 3 lanes?
Mid one still can't come back. I think it just should be, yeah.
Oh god, that Dagon!
Double Dagon.
Woo! Bye, Absol! Null field this! They got the Doom off on the CK.
QO's dead,
That's
though.
nice. He doesn't actually have the Aegis Immortal anymore. So QO will fall as 2 minutes without the CK. The Gem of True Sight also lost. Is this again? Immortals not backing out in time. MP's come in. He wanted to try and grab the gem. That won't quite work. Low on life, 140. Puppey coming in close, but he guesses poorly. Running up as opposed to down the lane.
I mean, this is the most typical Immortals game I've ever seen. Just going for kills. Who cares about the objective? Dive for those kills. Paying with their lives.
Did Team Secret just push now? You got a 90-second window without a CK.
They have to do something. I think they have to go for that mid. They know that there's no buyback.
Yep, he's got it on cooldown for 4 minutes on the CK.
Yeah, I think going mid's fine here. They might be able to actually get a Rex, but it's still pretty hard to defend into Immortals' deep push and outspam.
Yeah.
With that Puck and Pugna.
But you got crazy push that can arrive from the Arc Warden, so he can keep the side lanes at least pressured out for the moment.
Dubu's TP is on cooldown for 10 more seconds, and Splinter Blast is pretty nice to be able to push that back.
Mid one and Puppey are looking for an opening. The Shadow Blades, they're just holding in close out of vision of Immortals, hoping that someone will just come an inch too close. They're probably hoping more on MP. What? Hey! What? Control, Alt, Delete, Hero. Except he can't restart for 75 seconds. Now Dubu comes out the curse. It's only on the clone. Puppey turning around, just staring at the clone. But Dubu, he's in trouble. The Nether Strike will pull him back out again. And now it's all really up to Ace to keep this pressure on. Without the DK, they don't have that fantastic push power, but they have the damage. Febby copping so much so quickly. They need to get a lane of racks. That's what they need to bounce it out. But in 20 seconds time, the CK is back to the world of the living. And Team Secret, just how far can you force it? Febby is hovering around. You got the movement speed on Fada, and here comes MP looking to force the fight. 8 seconds till the return of CK. Febby in the middle of it all, but the Dream Call controlling up Team Secret. They've already found 1 kill. It's on to Fada. He's down for a very long time. Ace still alive and kicking for the moment, but with the return of CK, QO comes in. He TP's on top of the shrine, and now he'll start ripping apart the Mad Cow, who just madly charges back to the safety of base, but MP too quick with the Yule Scepter, cutting off the retreat. Dagon's down the Mad Cow, and the disease has been removed. Arc Warden, though, still cancerous inside the base defending.
I'm still speechless how fast mid one just got bursted. He just got double Dagon in the beginning of all of that. The Dagon's heavily paying off, though, having both of those. Even though they have BKBs, if they don't get it off, they just get insta-bursted from full.
Yep.
Literal 2200 damage.
It's like the second he gets veiled, and Craft is like, okay, well, I'm done.
QO walking up into the high ground, getting stun up, comboed. He's got Phantasm down.
That's a lot of drain, and now mid one, the damage! All that Dragon Blood armor and regeneration
Ace
counting
gets
for
stunned up.
nothing, and a 4-second stun on Ace. That could be the game right there. Ace will buy back. Yapsaw trying to buy some time with the Ghost, but once again, all it does is amplify MP's power. 4 heroes down, none of them have buyback. Megas will be granted to Immortals, and it looks like game 1 of this series will come along with it. The curse perfectly onto Ace. They'll finish the job here, Immortals. Team Secret pushing up the daisies. GG.
That was crazy. There's 73 kills in this game. Immortals are the most bloodthirsty team I've ever seen. Props to them, though, giving everyone a lot of entertainment with the double Dagons, but really nice little intricate plays coming out from like Dubu in particular with the cold embraces, QO getting very farmed, but Secret definitely falling quite short. Mid one dying back-to-back multiple times. Ace, even though he's got godlike at the end, it's really tough to play Arc Warden versus CK. They just pierce the backlines and jump on him.
Yep. Well, the panel was wondering, would the Arc Warden pickup actually be what they were looking for? There was question marks. But the only question I didn't have was on Immortals, because I didn't doubt Immortals.
Dude, these guys are nuts. I love watching them play, honestly. I miss these guys. Get them more tournaments.
Now, this is actually more scary for all the other teams who are sitting watching going, okay, we've got Immortals on LAN, and they're actually looking good, and they're going to gain momentum. This is a big confidence game from them. And
looking good. I think they're still shaky, but that's the story of Immortals, right? They're just battle, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the old spirit that is CIS, but they just embrace better. It's fantastic. I cannot wait to see more, and more we shall have. Pugna.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
Nice bit of splice there in game number 1 of series number 2. Got there in the end, didn't they? The South Koreans eventually coming out on top in a very long game as far as the tournament so far has been concerned, that's for sure. But no shortage of fight from Team Secret. But they are going to have to do something with this lineup that they've never done before, and that's come from behind to win a series. So let's find out whether they can do that very shortly. Of course, we're going to wrap up and review game number 1 back with our panel members, Winter and Melini. Ben, we'll start with you. Good game overall from Immortals, and you know, when you look at the game overall, you sort of think, well, yeah, it's a set of trades all the way through the early games, nothing really to pick between the two sides, but just when it matters, they seem to be like, okay, it's time for the kill, we're going to go for the kill. It took them a lot longer than we thought it would early on. When they pushed that mid, you sort of think, okay, this could be GG, but they're quite happy to be patient. We often talk about them as this, you know, wonderful team to watch, and they're super exciting, and they do things that, you know, we love watching to do, but they can also be sensible as well when they need to be.
Well, I like MP a lot in the mid lane. He actually used to be a mid player before he was one for a really long time on Secret, but he is a killer. That guy's a fighter, not a whatever the opposite of fighter. Lover?
Lover.
That dude,
he loves fighting.
He was everywhere. Like, he was just destroying people, and I like that coming out from him a lot more, like as opposed to the sacrificial role that he previously played. So, yeah, I think that has to, like, I think QO dies too much. That's probably his biggest weakness, is he dies too much as a mid laner. But I think in the one position, he knows that if he dies, it's going to hurt his team a lot more, and he doesn't have that, like, I have to kill people all the time mentality that he usually does.
Winter, what did you make of it?
I think putting QO on CK was definitely the right decision for them, because like I said, you want to put him on the hero that needs to have the most farm and space, and that was the correct hero for him in this lineup. We weren't so sure because we knew that, like, MP is going to play the puck, so we're kind of expecting maybe the safe lane puck, but they switched things around and it worked out for them. And this game is like the talent on the Doom though. A lot of games where I saw Fata when he takes the health talent, I'm like, oh, okay, it made a difference in this fight, it made a difference in that fight. But this game, I felt like they couldn't fight at all because they were lacking team fight during that, what, 10 to 20 minute period.
Yeah.
They couldn't really take fights, and Fata was running around without the Devour talent, and he was, like, his net worth was dropping off because of that.
Yeah, you weren't a big fan of the way that he played the Doom this time round.
Yeah, I think this game, because they were going for a much more late game, since you had the Arc Warden, you can't really finish the game early anyways. So having a much more economical build is much better for the Doom, because he needed to go into the late game with multiple items, like maybe a BKB, Shivas earlier. He had a Shivas eventually, but it was late, he wasn't rich, and you probably want to get a refresher at some point too. There's a lot of things that you want the Doom to have this game.
Have you seen the Octarine build on him?
Yeah.
With the Infernal Blade talent?
And Radiance.
Oh my god, that build is so sick. Anyways.
We also talked about the Arc Warden pick early, just before the game started. We were sort of questioning where this had come from, how does it fit, how does it work. Worked out really well in the end.
Yep, I think Ben was right about it. I had my second thoughts. I saw the first 4 heroes, so I felt good about Secret.
Yeah.
Then they had this last pick, I'm like,
yeah.
How
does that go in?
Yeah, wasn't so sure, but I still felt like Secret, they were going to win because they were, I felt like they were going to be playing better than their opponents. But in the end of the day, I think the Arc Warden, his early game was bad. They couldn't really protect him. There was a Night Stalker. Night Stalker could pressure him so much. And there was this CK that could also, like, we saw QO kill him, like solo kill him in the jungle, like a few times. Like, he's definitely not good against, like, gap closers like this.
But overall, you were okay with the pick. I mean, it didn't lead to their downfall, did it?
They still could have won, but it was a really, really difficult game for them.
I mean, at this point in the highlights as well, I mean, from here on, it felt a bit like they're going to have a couple of big team fights to win this game rather than just have one and go down the other end.
Or they would have needed to draw the game like long enough until like maybe the Doom goes for a more economical build. I don't know if you go Midas. I think Midas might be too greedy, but you definitely need the talent, the gold talent, and the Doom has like maybe an extra item or 2 extra items when it goes to 40-50 minutes. Then you can actually fight them.
Maybe he can just go Midas and not the Devour Talon. If you think you're going to fight a lot and then it turns out you can't fight, that's maybe a possibility. Anyways, a hero that we didn't talk about was Pugna. Pugna destroyed them in the
Yeah. I mean, Forev's been playing this a little bit recently, and it certainly shows.
No, you think about the hero as well. Like, this hero actually fits their playstyle a lot. Why? Because Pugna needs bodies to be thrown at the enemy, so the enemy can't actually get to the Pugna, so the Pugna can kill everybody. And the way MVP plays is like you have all like these two, like Fabi and Kyo, melee heroes that goes in front and takes a lot of the attention. That's why you could see Forev, he was just sitting in the back line, day-gunning, life draining, he was killing everybody. Like, they had the perfect lineup to protect the Pugna in the team fights.
The double tag on is just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was everyone's reaction in the room as well.
Dude, he had Aether Lens and like what?
Aether Lens, cast range, Veil. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. They could have gotten more hoods too, more pipes. They opted for BKBs instead, which is also...
I mean, if you want to get a pipe, it's probably on the support store.
Yeah. Usually Puppy would buy it. Puppy loves that. But anyways, that was... I don't know. I also don't like mid one as much on the DK. I think he did very well in the early mid, but like later on he wasn't so great in the core on core matches, which we talk about a lot. You mentioned that he has a splash deal with CK Illusions, but at the very end we saw him just...
No, because he fell too far behind, I think. Like,
right.
he wasn't like on even. I think if the DK is even and you have the 25 talent with the extra armor, you can actually stand toe to toe against the CK.
But he can't because there's an Arc Warden in the game.
Yeah, Arc Warden needs to farm a lot.
So that's a big issue.
Yeah, and Doom also needs to farm. Like pretty much everyone needs to farm that game, and they didn't have a good early game. So Arc Warden had to catch up like a big portion of the game.
Do you feel like they did that okay? I mean, they had a couple of small opportunities where they could have won this game still, even in the late game.
Yeah, they
did. They did okay to catch up from so far behind.
But you don't want to play a hard game like this, you know.
No.
You want to play like a game where you're controlling the early game, then you reach the mid game, you have some good team fight, you're able to actually take some fights and get Roshan. You don't want to just, oh, we have to dodge. Okay, we can't fight now. We need to run here. We need to split push. That's always like the second option. You don't want that to be a first option.
Yeah. Their only option towards the end of this game, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and show you exactly how things panned out from a statistical point of view. MP topping the table as far as the charts were concerned in this particular game. 13-3-14 for MP. Just on the flip side of this, I think we pointed out Ace had a good game on Arc Warden, 12-5-9, so decent from him as well. But as you can see from the graphs, the later game really started to fall away from Team Secret. I mentioned at the start of this that they haven't been able to win coming from behind yet with this current lineup. So that's a mental block that they're going to have to try and get over if they're going to win this series now.
Yeah, they've been really good in the most part in the early game. Like during Starlighter, I was quite impressed by the way they actually run their lanes, and of course Papi Chan always wins his team the lanes. But this game they were hard pressed because they were up against a Night Stalker. So adjustments could be made next game. Maybe you ban out the Night Stalker so that you can actually have a much better early game, because that's what Secret wants. They want to win their lanes. Yep.
Let's take a look at the MVP. There's a few candidates in here, Ben, I think, for MVP, but we're going to go with Forev on the Pugna.
Sure. Did very well versus the Arc Warden. I want to see his damage compared to everyone else, because I think that he was most of the reason why Secret couldn't take team fights at all. You don't really want to charge into a Nether Ward team, and then if you just leave him in the back, he just gets off all his spells. Like, he didn't even have that many items. But the crap Dagon 5 with the Aether Lens is just ridiculous.
The whole team though. I think the whole team kind of like built around him. Like they went like they were so many. They had 2 Dagons and they had frontliners. It allowed him to be successful. It's not just him. Obviously he shined. He did a lot of damage, but it was also his team. You know.
Flame the MVP pick.
He did. You can do that too. He had the second most damage of the entire game. Ace had the most damage of all players, so highest on his team. Decent performance from him. Let's just briefly look forward to second game, because obviously we're not too far away from the draft coming up. Winter's already mentioned that they need to change things up. How?
Well, the Night Stalker had way too much control in the first 12, 13 minutes of the game. Usually it's Puppy on some mid hero that's super annoying, like Bane that we saw banned out in the second phase, or what else we see? Chen, Enchantress, like these sort of heroes that just like ruin the opposing lanes so that their cores can get a lot of farm. But that didn't happen this game. He's a Spirit Breaker. He's only able to do so much. A Puck's in the mid lane, like you can't really gank a Puck.
One other thing that I actually thought of is like because of their system, the way they were successful before this was because their safe laner is always a hero that is self-sufficient, so that he doesn't really need, like Ace usually doesn't need too much babysitting. But when you're an Arc Warden, that changes because that hero actually needs a lot of attention from the supports. If you get pressured, you need people to come and fight for you. But this game they couldn't fight because they were weak, and it's kind of like not so suitable for them maybe. I would prefer Ace to be on a hero that's really strong in the lane, so this doesn't happen.
Okay, so that's one change from them. As far as Immortals are concerned, what do you? I mean, it's always difficult when you come off a win because you're kind of like, well, that worked. Let's just stick with that, see what they come back at us with. But is there something in there that you think that maybe Secret look at and they go, let's focus this, getting rid of this hero or this set of heroes?
I think what Immortals did was like MVP style. They played their aggressive Dota. They ran at you, even though tower was down, no objectives, but they still wanted to fight. They kept like pressuring the enemy. It was really difficult for Secret to farm up their heroes. I think maybe like what Ben mentioned, try to avoid Q dying too much. You know, if he's on a core position, try to help him more. If that doesn't happen and they can play their aggressive Dota, I think it will work again for Immortals.
Okay, Ben, what do you feel in terms of Immortals? Do you feel like they need to change too much?
Just clean up their play a little bit. They had that one massive like feeding frenzy around the Radiant Shrine. You want to avoid situations like those. Things lose games.
Can do.
Yeah, just clean up on that. I think overall it was pretty solid. They drafted heroes that work well for them. They moved around in the lanes to matchups that were suitable for them. So I think it was pretty. They had good bans too. I think the draft was pretty solid.
Yeah, everything was pretty solid apart from some decision mistakes. That's all.
Yeah.
Items was also really good from everyone.
Yeah, the Shadow Blade on CK was very good. Paid off.
Good. Well, it seems like our panel have been impressed. I like it.
This was much better than the first series in terms of quality.
It was much better, that's for sure, in terms of enjoyment levels too. Let's dip into that social media goodie bag and take another question. Do keep them coming, of course. The Reddit thread is up and running. Could the Dota Pro Circuit cause burnouts in teams? Great question, because obviously this year, more than any, we've got a very structured season ahead of us in terms of more than 20 events in both minors and majors. 11 of those are majors currently as it stands. That's a lot of tournaments. I mean, I just want to be devil's advocate a little bit here as well, because actually that's not as many as we've had over the last 12 months, because there have been other big tournaments as well. They might have been called majors or minors or whatever, but they've kind of replaced a lot of those, haven't they?
Kind of, but there's still also tournaments that aren't majors and minors. Yeah. So there's a little bit more than 22. So the answer to the question that was posed, do I think burnouts will be caused by the system? I actually don't think so. I think if you're a weaker tier team, like tier 3, or worse, I think you won't get burnt out because it's just practice. Like you don't get burnt out if you're bad. Yeah. You just need more practice, right?
You need to improve.
So if we just eliminate those teams, then we're talking about the tier 1 and tier 2 teams. And if you're
but they
good,
can be picky.
They can be picky, right? Because the majors are worth 5 times as many points. Yeah. So we have 1,500 for the majors and 300 for the minors. Yeah. So if you're really burnt out, you can just attend one major, win that, and the amount of points that will be available will be equal to 5 minors. So if you're good enough, you won't get burnt out. But
okay, good point.
What about you, Winter? What do you think?